everyone, today I want to share with you finally a sketchbook flip through. I'm going to show you through this ginormous, I wanted you to see this next to me so you can appreciate how big this is. This is the Khadi 30 by 35 centimeters rough paper sketchbook. You can see it doesn't really have a cover, and it's stitched together. This is handmade paper. I really enjoyed playing in this journal or sketchbook. I thought it was really, working on this size on one hand and then having it still be in a sketchbook, I found it was really freeing. So it just worked, I think, better for me than with single sheets. And unfortunately I don't have another one of these handy, and since this the paper in the Khadi journals is sized with gelatin that comes from animal bones, I won't be repurchasing these journals. But if that's not a concern to you, I think they are fantastic, and the paper is beautiful. You can really see that it's handmade. I really enjoyed it, and I particularly like the rough Khadi paper more than the smooth one. That's my personal preference. So I just wanted you to see and appreciate how big this is. Now, I started this journal a year or 2 years ago when I was kind of getting into my more purist watercolor stage, as opposed to using watercolors in like with other mediums, like a mixed media thing, which was what I was doing before. So this was kind of at the beginning, and then I made a few pages, which you'll see everything, and then I kind of put it aside and didn't use it for probably over a year. And then recently I came back to it, and I really loved painting in it. It definitely helped me understand that I prefer to work on rough paper. Cold press is nice, but at the moment I really prefer rough paper. Rough paper has a lot of texture, cold pressed paper has a little bit of texture, and then hot pressed is smooth. So if you're not familiar with that, with those terms, that's the meaning of it. So this is rough paper, and it's just beautiful. It has this beautiful texture. It works wonderful with granulating colors, which I'm all about at the moment. The combination of granulating watercolors with rough paper is just magical to me, and I don't really see myself kind of moving on from that. I'm sure I will at some point, but at the moment. Okay, let's get started. So I started this when I was really into flowers, and yeah, I was kind of starting out with watercolors just on their own, and yeah, I actually really like this. This, I could probably do something with it. This one I really like. What can I say? Okay, there are a lot of these pages, and I do want you to see this and, you know, be encouraged if you also have sketchbooks that are filled with kind of, I don't want to say nothing, because it's not nothing. It's, you know, you have to learn to walk before you can run, and these were like my baby steps, just putting paint on paper. And I feel like there's only so much, you know, I don't feel like you can do this forever and learn and become better. I think you have to kind of practice and focus on particular things you want to get better at, you know, what type of, if it's abstract, then work on that, or if it's florals or landscape or whatever. But I needed also to do this. So this is like nothing, and of course I can go back to this. With transparent watercolors, of course you have limitations, but I can definitely go back on top of this with acrylics and just play. So I kind of like this, and you know, it's also, I want to mention this thing, and I hope you find it helpful. you can scan or take photos of your own artwork and upload them to one of those print by demand sites like Redbubble. That's what I use. Society6, those are the ones I'm familiar with. And you know, you can make things like, I don't know, I think this would be like a really fun set of pillows, for example, to put in your living room or your bedroom or your kids' room or whatever. I mean, it's so pretty and so happy. No, it's not a masterpiece that I would frame, but I could definitely use this for something, you know, in my house, to have my art or creative play out there on display to see and make myself happy. So just a thought. I think these are actually, I don't know, somewhere here I also have some inks that I tried that are not watercolors, but other than that, this whole thing is watercolor. So this, I don't know why it's turned upside down, but this I started this, I don't know, a year or 2 years ago, and then I added all these dark colors in a video on my channel. I will put the link here so you can check that out. I show you step by step how to create this really nice gradient from dark to less dark or lighter. This is, I don't know, something. I think actually I have a couple more turned pages. So some more color play. I don't know, this still makes me happy to look at it, but yeah, there's not a lot to it. Just playtime, also important. Very loose florals. This was kind of my go-to thing to do when I didn't really know what to do. And here I guess I was touching on landscape. So doing some sky. I didn't really know what I was doing, but it was fun. Playtime, playtime. Okay, these are actually really like, I show you how to do these step by step in my sketching florals class. I will put a link to the promo for that class. So we go through these. I had so much fun making them. I love how they turned out, and I definitely think I will take apart this journal and frame some of the artwork in here, because some of these pieces I really love. I think this one in particular, I think it will look good in a frame. Yes, not a lot going on. Okay, here I stopped. I put this journal aside and I didn't touch it for like a year. And what you're gonna see from now, most of it I've already shared, so I'm gonna go kind of fast through it. Here I was playing with autumn colors, doing some trees. I think this is my favorite version of this phase. This was also kind of experimenting with colors. This is based on a reference photo that my friend took somewhere. I think maybe in Mallorca, I'm not sure. Some more of those autumn trees. Just playing with some color, playing with other stuff, things I didn't feel like coming back to. Yeah, so there's a lot of like failed stuff here. I really like the colors here, but I think my favorite color scheme was still, where is it? I think still this one that has a bit more of the purple in it. I think it just, you know, more than here. This is more like yellow and purple, which are complementary colors, and this is a lot more like red and oranges, which is pretty, but I find that other one kind of just speaks to me a little bit more. This was playing, and I think here I started with Angela Fehr's Watercolor Mastery class. It's a 6-week live class, and we're now close to the end of it, unfortunately. It's closed for registration, but will reopen, I think, in the spring. So if you're interested, I highly recommend it. Make sure you are, you know, subscribed to Angela so you can see when it reopens. So from there on, this is mostly inspired by the course, and was just playing again with colors. This is based on a Jean Haynes tutorial. I showed most of these things, so I'm not going to spend too much time showing them to you again, because I talk about these in other videos, mostly in my studio chats. So check those out if you're interested to learn a bit more on what I was actually doing, colors and that sort of thing. And yeah, I had so much fun playing in this journal. I think I will definitely pull it apart and frame some pictures. And then the last page I actually cut because I wanted to try this technique that we were doing in the course, and yeah, that's why it's not connected to this journal. So thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.